Coming up today on the Village Idiom.
And he's coming in. It's a Canadian police chief, and he's.
Is this a show you've seen? What is this?
No, it's potentially. Potential. He comes in. He's angry. He says, like, Johnson, if you screw up this assignment, I'm going to stick my 30.48 centimeter so far up your butt, it'll kick you right in the tonsils. He says, wow, the chief really gave him the whole 8.229 meters on that one. See, Canadian stuff just doesn't make sense to Americans.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that takes a popular saying and takes a shallow and hopefully comedic dive into its usage, its origins, etc., and we'll use it to hang our dirty laundry on,
Nice.
or at least our conversation.
Speaking of dirty laundry, came off that in that cruise. I had to do laundry inside of a bathroom
on the cruise you're on.
Yeah, so you can pay people, but I'm too cheap.
Okay.
And so we like stuff this bag for $30 and we'll wash it and do everything for you, fold it, clean it, blah blah blah. Or for free, I could get a bar of soap and I'm washing my own clothes, hanging them up inside this little cubicle.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so cheap.
That's hilarious.
It's not good.
I don't know. It's probably pretty expensive with laundry, though, right?
Yeah, it's that it wouldn't matter. Like, I would do it while I was camping. It's just like camping, but inside of a luxury liner.
Moving hotel.
Same thing, but.
Well, my name is Jurassic Mark.
And I am Skinny.
And here we are with another idiom that starts out just like this.
And guess what, guys? Uncle Ian is going to have a big launch party for the new CD. That's right, press, paparazzi, Hollywood hotshots, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
There you go. Know what that is?
He's hilarious.
What's the actor's name?
David. It's not
Koresh.
No, not Glass. Because I'm currently watching Arrested Development.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's also the fish in Megamind.
Yep, I know. I just can't think of his...
David something. Is it Glass?
Oh, David Cross.
Cross.
Yeah.
In short names with double letters.
You were Glass? Yeah, that's pretty
close.
Yeah, you had it in your brain was going through the Rolodex right there.
Not correct. Like Waco, Texas.
Not Koresh.
It's so funny.
How's your week been?
Yep, man, fantastic.
Before we get into the usage and whatnot of this
man, life
idiom.
is so good.
Really? What's happened?
Well, just get out to do fun things with fun people, celebrating special events in friends' lives. My youngest also just had a birthday, so I had a night of laser tag.
Oh, nice.
Which was great and heart attacky.
Yeah.
And so I'm like bound to determine
Winded.
I will not be beaten by like 12-year-olds.
But even the 12-year-olds come out sweaty, man. Like, that's a workout.
Yeah. And so the other person who was in there was my oldest son, he's 18, and you just get that competitive juices going.
Yeah. And how'd you do?
I was second.
Oh, okay.
I always lost to him. I always lost to him. Yeah. He's just able to just keep going.
Right.
And I'm like, whoo, at the top of like stairs after running around for 5 minutes.
Right.
He just keeps going. He keeps going. So it was good. Yeah, it's fantastic. Just fun things with fun people.
Good. Well, today my day it's a lot of rain, and I'm going to immediately go and deal with a flat tire after this. So glad you had a fun week.
Do you need help?
Sure, you want to
I should
come?
probably call somebody. Somebody who cares.
I got AAA for the Americans, BCAA for...
Well, the Americans, it's triple. Mm-hmm. But for Canadians,
it's triple A. A. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Triple. Mm-hmm.
Triple. Triple. You're
not too sure. Woo! Ding, 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 ding. So fun.
Is it racist to make fun of Americans?
I know. I don't know. I was just on this.
Does it have to be color
crew
related to be racist?
I think. Yeah, no, American's not a race, or Canadian's not a race. It's a nationality.
Or a foot race.
If it was a nationalitist.
Oh, okay.
Is that a thing?
You're a nationalitist.
I think they call those Nazis. So I don't want to be that.
Okay, we're not that.
Yeah. So
I'm American. So we
you're
can
American.
make fun.
Yeah,
of,
fine.
That's how that works.
It's a fun thing. We're all.
We can make fun of white people and Americans.
People with glasses.
People with glasses.
Fat people.
Bald people.
These are.
We can make fun of white guy, blue-eyed blondes. We can make fun of the white privileged.
The Aryans. Oh, is that it? It was so funny because when I was on this cruise, one of my favorite entertainment pieces was the comedian.
Yeah. Was he good?
He was good.
Hit and miss on a cruise.
Well, it was great because he was 65 and the cruise was primarily geriatrics.
Okay.
And so 70s, 80s, 90s was like commonplace.
So they're wondering what this young buck is doing up there.
80% of the cruise. And he was hilarious because when it's a senior telling seniors jokes, which was the bulk of his gig.
Right.
It was hilarious.
Right.
And they were into it.
Good.
They were the first to be laughing at the whole scenario.
So like laughing at themselves.
Laughing at yourself. Yeah. And so he was a senior and a Canadian.
Okay.
And so, yeah. So it's funny. He's like, we'd be talking about like, like our $1 coin, it's got a loon on it and call it the loony. And so, people thought that was funny because they didn't know.
Just that in itself. That's funny.
Our coin with the loon on it, a loony. It's like, you'd think that at least you could put a deer on it and call it a buck.
That's amazing. Wow.
Isn't that a good joke?
That is amazing. That's a brilliant joke. I can't believe that has never crossed my ears before.
Yeah. So he was full of amusing things. So he was a senior and geriatric.
One cruise that I went on, there was it was a cheaper cruise. It was a repositioning, right?
It was a ferry.
And it was a ferry. It was a rowboat. Remember when you got in a rowboat with me? No, we were on the cruise and there was a comedian as well. I was looking for it. And he was okay. Like solid. You could see why he's not a celebrity.
Right.
But
he's on
had
celebrity.
a great time. Yeah. Then the next night, there's a magician. Let's go to that. Same guy, different outfit.
That's
different
awesome.
Shtick. Like
next night vocalist.
Hilarious.
Is that him again?
Like, no wonder he got the job. The crew's like, we can get 5 nights worth of.
He's a triple threat.
He's a triple A. Triple ho.
The triple A. He could have a heart attack. All sorts of things could happen right now. That kind of thing.
Cruises are, any vacation is great, but cruise is like, it's just all there all the time.
All of it. Not just a bit of it.
2 in the morning. 2 in the morning. There's something going on.
Yep, me sleeping.
Food.
But
there's a buffet somewhere.
You could go to some crazy observatory deck and have drinks or dance or be entertained or have something to eat.
You might say.
Round the clock.
You might say.
You might say it. You might say it accomplished like the whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards. That's all. I was just setting it up. There it is. So the whole 9 yards.
I was following.
I know. Everybody was.
They're like, just say it. Say it.
At home, they're yelling at their headphones.
The whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards. All right. So whole 9 yards, obviously, it means to give it everything you've got or to say everything you have to say. It's like, it's everything.
It's everything.
All of it.
I was thinking of some Canadian-American type thing, not to get too far off that before we get into the whole 9 yards and just the amusement of some difference in that Canadian Americanness and why our Canadian TV just seems so stupid to Americans.
Okay.
Because
we have the odd show that stands out.
Yeah, they're odd because they're odd.
Right.
They're Canadian. And so I was trying to think of some how to work this through, or at least why they would see it as foolish. And so I was thinking of this scenario where you got a police chief and he's coming in. It's a Canadian police chief and he's
Is this a show you've seen? What is this?
No, it's potentially. Potential. He comes in, he's angry. He says like, Johnson, if you screw up this assignment, I'm going to stick my 30.48 centimeter so far up your butt, it'll kick you right in the tonsils. He says, wow, the chief really gave him the whole 8.229 meters on that one. See, Canadian stuff just doesn't make sense to Americans.
Go back. How long was it?
I'm going to stick my 30.48 centimeters so far.
But that's only a foot.
I'm going to stick my foot so far up your butt.
Oh, I thought you were trying to pair it up with 9 yards. I get it.
I'm going to stick my 30.48 centimeters so far up your butt.
That's good. I'm just really slow today, apparently.
Stick my 30.48 centimeters so far up your butt, it'll kick you in the tonsils.
I always thought that 30 centimeters was a foot. Like our ruler, our Canadian ruler for school ends at 30 centimeters.
30.48 centimeters.
And there's 12 inches in a foot.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't line up.
It doesn't line up.
No, it's quite close. 30.48.
Huh. That is close.
Yeah, and so the whole 8.2296 meters. You gave him the whole 8.2296 meters on that one. It just doesn't make sense. American Canadian.
I really hope we start using it because that's awesome. People just like, what would you say?
So that is a whole 9-yard Canadian American mashup for you.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Wow. What else can you pile into that? Oh, let's get into it. We can slow it down whenever we feel like, but here we go.
I said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind.
Origins.
So good. I had supper with Dobby Ravies just the other night.
The writer and performing artist and
Yes.
recording artist of
Yes,
our Origins
He's the dude.
jingle.
He's the one that gave us the whole 9 yards on that one. He gave us
That was-
everything.
he
He played all the parts.
That's a nice treat,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it is.
Because otherwise
he's a lot of
we'd be
fun.
45 episodes in going, Origins!
45 episodes.
This is 45.
So crazy.
This is 45. We'll have to do something big on the Big 5-0.
the Big 5-0. That
Or
sounds good.
Some idiom that has to do with 50.
Probably.
I'll have to throw a 50 cent.
Fitty.
50.
So what'd you find out about the whole 9 yards?
Before we get into the origins, I'm going to give you a little bit of the history, which we typically do. It's all meshed in. But the history of, like, in print, this phrase, I'm going to go straight to the... Don't you love us when you go to see a guest speaker and they're like, the Webster's Dictionary says... It's the worst beginning to anything. Anyway, the Oxford English Dictionary... places the earliest published non-idiomatic use of this phrase in the New Albany Daily Ledger in New Albany, Indiana, in January 1855. So it was an article called the Judge's Big Shirt, and this is the quote. "What a silly, stupid woman. I told her to get just enough to make 3 shirts. Instead of making 3, she's put the whole 9 yards into 1 shirt."
Yep.
So that's non-idiomatic, but it's the first in print, whole 9
year
yards.
what year was that?
1855.
1855. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I came across as well. Putting the whole
You had that one?
Putting the whole 9 yards into a shirt.
Yeah, so that, we'll come back to the origins because that one's a bit of useful information. Then the first known use of the phrase as an idiom is in 1907 in a newspaper called the Mitchell Commercial in Mitchell, Indiana. Hey, wait, everything's Indiana. Huh. At least we know it came from Indiana.
Indiana wants me.
I didn't even pick up on that. That it's
Lord, I won't go
that's
back there.
52 years later, same state. And the quote in this newspaper was this: "This afternoon, see, this afternoon at 2:30 will be called one of the baseball games that will be worth going a long way to see. The regular 9 is going to play the businessmen as many innings as they can stand, but we cannot promise the full 9 yards." So,
Funny.
but it was an idiom. It's like not a baseball reference. Like you might not get the full 9 yards because it's a baseball game of businessmen playing.
It'd be better if it was like football.
Then, interestingly, in print, the only reference after that is in the same newspaper 3 times over the next 7 years. It's just quoted as the whole 9 yards, settled the whole 9 yards, took away the whole 9 yards. So one could assume that it came out of Indiana somehow. Now, keep going with the history before we get to why are they even saying this. Other uses in the same time period was really similar, but it was the whole 6 yards. Did you
Yes.
come across this?
Yeah.
It was interesting. So
Inflation.
it was inflation. Other places were using it the exact same way.
Maybe that's why in America it's the 6 yards, but in Canada
Yeah,
it has to
that's
be the
right.
9 yards for after you convert the currency.
Exactly. The exact same used the exact same way in 1912, newspaper in Kentucky this time, so different part of the United States, sort of. Not too far away. Asked the readers to just wait, boys, until the fix gets to a fever heat, and they will tell the whole 6 yards. Same newspaper used it. A different quote very soon after. As we've been gone for a few days and failed to get all the news for this issue, we'll give you the whole 6 yards in our next issue. So the 6 yard form of the phrase appeared around the same time in different parts of the United States. So the phrase then kind of disappears because it's not until 1956 when there's an article on fishing. So now we're 100 years later, and we have half a dozen references in any print anywhere. So in 1956 in Kentucky, someone else uses it. That's the whole 9 yards, referring to the article and all the contests and prizes to a hunting magazine. And it was the whole 9 yards. That's everything. So they're basically this is one of the worst examples. Like, there's no reason this idiom should have survived the test. You know how sometimes we're like, oh, no wonder it became a thing. Like, it was used for this and this. There's like decades between each time it's used. And then, so it's rare.
It's like some guy keeps trying to put it back in. It's like,
yeah, like almost.
It didn't stick. Try again.
Almost. And in the article I read, one of the points of reference to say this was not a popular saying was there was a world record set for the long jump in 1961. Did you hear about this? In 1961, I'm trying to see if I have the name here. Ralph Boston set a world record for the long jump at 27 feet, which is exactly 9 yards. And it made the news all over the place, but there was no pun, no reference, and that's the whole 9 yards, nothing, which made the researchers go, this was not a thing. This was not a phrase commonly used yet, because now newspaper journalists, everybody would pun, right?
It does seem, though, that the overall phrase sums up like the whole, and then fill in the blank.
Yeah.
The whole ball of wax.
The whole shebang.
The whole enchilada.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm out at shebang. Is shebang a real word? Where'd that one come from? The whole shebang.
Ricky Martin.
No, that's she bang.
She bang, she bang.
I don't even think of Ricky Martin for that song. I think of, oh man, I'm going to forget something. William Hung. Do you remember William Hung?
Oh, yes.
She bang, she bang.
Yeah.
William Hung. That was the first time I got ripped off online, because we were.
Did you buy a
I tried to buy a William Hung T-shirt.
Okay.
I never saw my T-shirt and spent $10 online. First time I ever spent money online. Period.
Oh, that's not a good start.
And never got
Last
the T-shirt.
time you ever bought anything online, I bet.
No. I received 3 packages today. Christmas is coming.
Yeah, we got Black Friday coming up. So
yeah, I've heard some good news about certain tech products that you want to keep your eye open
all
for.
right, that sounds good.
So then jump up to 1962. There's a story published called A Brush Salesman describes a certain new car as containing all 9 yards of goodies. And then in 1964, it starts to get informational, where several, not just one in print, but several newspapers published a syndicated story, which explained that, quote, "give them the whole 9 yards" was NASA speak for an item-by-item report. And it wasn't in reference to anything else other than how long it was. It's like 9 yards of notes they're reading.
Like when you get a Home Depot receipt? That's the whole 9 yards.
That's the whole 9 yards. Do you ever go to Michael's for anything?
No,
it's
the
just
same thing?
It's like 3 times longer. You're just like, is that all for me? I got a stapler.
New spool.
It's crazy.
Do you guys have a paper sale?
So that's the history of it in print, and we haven't even gotten to the why or the actual origin. So let me give you another one, and we'll make the segue over.
Sure.
I just had a case, Chuck, with 3 clients, arraignment, voir dire, jury trial, whole 9 yards. You know
what that is?
Yeah, Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Is it Bob Bakerman?
No, Bob Odenkirk. Yeah. Yeah, he's got such a distinct,
That's
distinct
fantastic.
voice.
Did you ever see that movie?
Which?
There's a movie, The Whole 9 Yards.
Yeah, Bruce Willis.
Bruce
right?
Willis.
Yeah, I can picture the cover. Isn't he wearing like an apron or something?
Or like a stylish jacket. He's like Jimmy the Tulip or something.
No, isn't he wearing like a women's apron on the cover of it? He is that. He is what you're saying.
He's the hitman who's gone to like small town life.
Yeah, that's
Jimmy
right.
the Tulip.
Jimmy the Tulip. I was just trying to see if I could pull up the actual cover. Oh yeah, I'm thinking of something else. Some other movie where he's wearing a woman's apron.
Oh yeah. He's in like a black, looking good hitman kind of jacket.
Oh no, here it is. The whole 10 yards. It's part 2.
No, it's not.
Part 2. He's wearing a woman's apron.
I didn't know that was the thing.
Funny.
Jimmy the Tulip.
Jimmy the Tulip. Bruce Willis. Yeah. Okay, so you ready for some origins?
Yeah.
Okay, so that first one we talked about, the non-idiomatic, had reference to this giant shirt. I told her to make this shirt. She used all 9 yards.
Did I tell you about that time? I know we had the pants story, but when
the pants you made for me?
We sewed up the pants. Did I tell you about the time I sewed up a bridesmaid dress for my wife?
No.
True story. I was trying to convince. So she was. She wasn't my wife at the time. I don't think. I think we're still dating. And
she was going to be a bridesmaid.
She was going to be a bridesmaid, and we ran into some time constraint. And
You're
I wanted
adventurous with your craft work.
and I wanted to do something fun. She's like, I can't. Like, I've got to get this bridesmaid thing done. I got work tomorrow. I'm
So
like,
she is making the dress.
So she's supposed to make her bridesmaid
Okay,
dress
got
with
it.
this whatever pattern. I'm like, no, come on, let's go out. I will make your bridesmaid dress. But it was pretty awesome. I did like frilled.
And you did it.
Oh yeah, of course I did it. I did.
So
frilled doll.
that plus the pants you made for me,
Basically
which is
make
its own
anything.
story. You'll have to go back and listen to episode 38 for that. I hope that's right. I have no idea.
I think it's before then, but it's still good.
So did you take home ec?
Of course I did.
Oh.
Everybody did in my era.
I didn't.
Oh, what?
I'm your era.
Yeah, you were my exact era. We had to.
No, it was like
We had to take 4 classes.
it was distinctly the girls took home ec
Oh
and
no,
the
no,
boys
no,
took
no,
shop.
no. My school was much more metro.
Wow.
You had to take cooking, a quarter year cooking, a quarter year sewing, a quarter of a year metalwork, and a quarter of a year woodwork.
We did drafting, woodwork, metalwork, and something else. And then there was the arts. Like,
Man stuff.
man, it was all man stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had to do it all.
Electronics.
Nope.
That was our 4th one.
No, we did, cooking and sewing. I still use that stuff.
Yeah, I guess. I cook a fair amount, but that's because HelloFresh tells me how.
Didn't they do that in like, was it like Stallone in like Demolition Man?
What?
When he got like reprogrammed, that he came out like wanting to knit all the time?
I don't remember that. That's funny.
Yeah, so anyways, so continue on.
Okay, so when you look into the origins of this phrase, there's actually a lot of argument over it. Because I'll be honest, I chose this idiom because we're quite close to
Remembrance Day.
in Canada and Memorial Day, Veterans Day in the United States, same day, November 11th. So we're like, oh, I thought I knew the origins of this.
But it's one of those in the potentials, but it's not true. It's fully been snoped because it happened well before.
Because the dates don't work.
It happened well before.
So we'll get to that in a second. So the most popular candidates kind of relate to these lengths of or pieces of fabric, various garments, including like Indian saris and Scottish kilts and burial shrouds and all these lengths of cloth.
The whole 9 yards to build it.
Yeah, a bolt of fabric is typically 9 yards. And so there's actually some real suggestions, like believable suggestions, that this comes from fabric. But I always thought it came from machine gun.
Airplane
What do
machine
you call
gun.
it? What do you call the actual, like not a magazine, but like an ammunition belt? Mm-hmm. And that it was 9 yards. And there is evidence of that. They started out with much smaller belts, but by World War II, they were 9 year long. 9 years of, wow, I can't speak. 9 years of ammunition. No, 9 yards of ammunition. So
Right.
it did match up. If you were to use the whole 9 yards, you were going to unload that weapon on your enemy.
You're going to give him every last bullet you had, unloading the whole 9 yards, except that it can't be the origin because it's documented in the 1800s.
Yeah, so as an idiom,
well before.
it's way before.
Right.
Yeah, but it does line up with all the fabric references.
It makes sense.
But it's still weird that this stuck.
I could see a sari, because that's a lot of fabric in a sari.
Well, same with
But not like a shirt. Like, what kind of poofy...
no, but that's when you
pirate shirt?
purchase the fabric.
Yeah, but that you put the whole 9 yards in the
Oh, yeah, that'd
into
be
a shirt.
ridiculous.
Like, that would be crazy. It'd have to be like one of those
I
puffy-
told you the article
puffy pirate
about
shirt.
the judge's big shirt. That's to this day why judges wear robes. They put the whole 9 yards into the judge's shirt. I'm just making that up.
Sounds good.
Right. It works,
Why would they
though.
put it into a shirt and then put a robe on over top?
Exactly. Yeah, so it probably doesn't, even though it lines up 9 yards, which is 350 to 400 rounds in ammunition belt for the Vickers machine gun. It is probably not from that at all. And
No.
I was so convinced that
So we were trying to give a war reference to
Yeah.
kind of give a shout out to our
Remembrance Day and Veterans Day.
Yeah, all of that. Of course, we didn't wear our poppies, which we had intended to.
Oh, that's right. I don't even have mine in here because that was yesterday, technically.
Yeah, it happened. It happened.
Well,
yesterday.
Remembrance Day was yesterday.
But we
We're
do
recording
have-
today, but this will be released in 2 days.
We wear retro poppies.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
Yeah. So apparently, our poppies have the green centers, which they only made between 1980
And 2001, right?
through 2002. Yeah.
2002.
Yeah, and then afterwards went, so before it was black centers, and then afterwards it was black centers, but there was a window of green centers, and we just happened to have a small collection of antique poppies.
Yeah. Yeah, I had so many comments this year, just like, what's
going on with
why
your
does
poppy?
your poppy have a green center? Or then people who are my age or older are like, where did you get your poppy?
Right.
I remember that.
Poppies are like older than my children. So,
Yeah, exactly. They literally are older than some of our children.
Some of them anyway. Yeah, so it's one of those things we wanted to celebrate, and a thank you to our veterans and all of the people who have served in these capacities.
Yeah,
but,
this is our version of
we
that.
dishonored by not having our poppies on, but it is after Remembrance Day. I
Yeah.
believe there is a protocol to that.
Yeah, you're not really supposed to. Not that anybody's going to.
What are you doing supporting veterans after Memorial Day?
Exactly. I do know you're not supposed to put your Christmas lights up on the outside of your house until some people say it's disrespectful to put them up before Remembrance Day.
Oh, man. Well, they should talk to Costco because
Yeah, exactly.
they're pumping out crap already. It's like Halloween, or how fast was it? Was it like Halloween over the next day? It was Christmas?
Oh, not even. Like Christmas is out before Halloween happens.
It's ridiculous now.
There's not a big switch over for Remembrance Day at Costco or Walmart, but it's not like the seasonal get your poppies here.
Did you come across the one where 3 masts of a ship? I
did.
To set full sail.
Still a fabric, but
Right.
in reference to the 3
Although
masts
nautical.
times the 3
You need 3 yards per
mast
per
or something.
thing.
Yeah.
And so to set your full sail,
I also
to do the whole 9 yards.
I also had one last one, which was literally about verbiage, so that most of the oldest examples were used in the form of give the whole 9 yards or tell the whole 9 or 6 yards. And so they're suggesting that the idiom likely relied on yards as lengthy or thorough presentations like news or reports or that kind of thing. So nothing to do with either.
It usually means the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of it.
All of it.
Like it was
The whole kit
thing.
and caboodle. Oh, why didn't I do kit and caboodle before?
I've never seen a kitten caboodle.
A kitten? Caboodle.
A kitten caboodle.
I don't believe kittens can caboodle.
Not until they're older.
Well, last week, we talked about, hey, we're gonna give shout outs, make sure you answer on a riddling, and then we were slow to post things, and we didn't have time to get the responses, but I did get some comments. Hey, you used to say the week before's answer in the newest episode. Okay. So I'm going to try and make those listeners happy. We play a game called Riddlink, which is a 2-part trivia-based question that demands a 2-part overlapping answer. Overlapping by sound, syllable, or word. And so last week, we left, for all our illegitimate children who are listening out there, we left this Riddlink. The land of the free and the bird that didn't come back with an olive branch was... Did you get this one?
Mm-mm.
Was the land of the free was home of the brave. Mm-hmm. And the bird that didn't... Raven, yeah. Mm-hmm. So the correct answer with it overlapping is home of the Braven.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I like it.
So if you did guess that, I'm sorry that we posted things a little late and you didn't get to answer.
That was all my doing. I'm still was jet lagging.
Well, it was both of us.
There we go.
We had different parts to do that.
Well, let's get it right this week.
Okay.
Let me start things off with a riddle for you.
I'm going to kill this.
Okay.
Go.
I just need to pick up my phone. Oh, just a
Go.
second. I've got to breathe deeply before I start.
Go.
You know how it is. Generally speaking, the plane shot the entire ammo belt.
Okay, so we've got our idiom for the second half of that. Generally speaking,
the plane shot the...
Is it... I feel like this is a stretch, but is it on the whole 9 yards?
Yes.
Like on the whole?
On the whole.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, on the whole 9 yards. Whew. Yeah, generally speaking, on the whole.
Okay, this one is going to test your pop culture.
Oh, great.
As a young teen, maybe preteen. This 1979 Disney movie that features a robot named Maximilian. Hopefully that's enough for you.
I'm out already.
You're already shaking your head? I'm going to
already-
leave it for the listeners. I'm going to give you a different one then.
Okay, so
I'll come back to this one.
Okay.
I didn't even complete it. I'm going to come back to this one. This one's for you then. Giving it everything you can with a 36-inch ruler.
the whole 9 yards, Dick.
That's it.
That's a good
That was
one.
quick.
Yeah. Okay. Second one for you. See if you can.
Okay.
And for you out there, see if you can beat Jurassic Mark to it.
The whole 9-yard stick.
Bruce Willis's character in The Whole 9 Yards
You just said it.
does a long kiss.
Something the tulip. Jimmy the tulip does a long kiss. Lip service? Lipstick? Lip. Does a long kiss.
It's its own funny phrase.
Oh.
That cracks me up. That's why I used it. It just cracked me up.
Jimmy the tulip to lip to, I don't know.
Remember the phrase a lip lock?
Oh, yeah.
When people are kissing?
Lip lock.
You get lip
Jimmy
lock.
the tulip lock. That's fun to say. Francisco.
Hercules.
Oh.
Lip lock.
Okay.
Those two are in the corner in a lip lock. It's like a...
Yeah, no, I just couldn't. I'm like,
Lip lock.
lip service. Okay, so this is what we do. We leave one unanswered so that you guys can play along. And Skinny's going to tell you how you can get a hold of us.
You can reach us on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or you can search for us on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube at 3 Minutes Gone.
Perfect. All right, this one's for everyone out there. If you've got a story about, I don't know, using the whole 9 yards,
Getting lip locked somewhere.
send us a message. Tell us your story. We should have a voicemail. People can call in, then we could play their story, play their comment.
Voicemail, that's awesome.
Okay, here it
Leave
is.
us an audio at one of those options.
This 1979 Disney movie that features a robot named Maximilian gave it everything he had. That's it.
Oh man, it sounds tricky.
I know you know it.
You do?
You should.
Okay, I'll work on it while I'm saying this right now. Well, this has been fun putting this episode together. We hope you've enjoyed it too. I am Skinny.
I am Jurassic 324 inches Mark.
Well, these are the Village Idioms.
Last 3 minutes gone.